This is a letter about a certain USO show I got to see a long time ago, and I got to enjoy 15 minutes of somebody else's fame. In the middle of 1971, I was an Army clerk in An Khe, Vietnam. One morning I heard the lieutenant asking the commanding officer, "Who are we going to get for that duty?" The captain turned to me and said, "Him, Dobos." I was told to report to the old stone church on base with helmet and rifle. I would be escorting Miss America from a reception area to the stage at the airstrip. I would remain on duty during the show and then escort her back to the church. I could not believe I was the one picked for such an honor and privilege, so I asked the lieutenant why the commanding officer chose me. He said, "You just got in country, right?" "Yes, sir." "You're the least horny." My post was on the front steps above a path that led to a parking area. Beyond that, I could see the end of the airstrip when a C-130 rolled to a stop. 7 Army Jeeps in a line moved up to pick up precious cargo, Miss America, and her entourage. Soon they were heading straight towards me, each Jeep carrying one young woman in the back on the left side with big hair. Brunettes, blonde, and a redhead. Soldiers were coming from everywhere hoping to get a glimpse before the show. When the vehicles were all parked, 7 beautiful American women in civilian clothes were on the ground and coming up the path. In the front, Miss America was walking with a major, the highest ranking officer I'd ever seen in Vietnam. I came to attention and held my salute for him, but I looked right at Phyllis, and she was looking at me. I noticed her head was up, chin pulled in, and a little tiny wrinkle on her brow. Oh my God, I thought. My appearance was so impressive, it registered on her face. She didn't realize it, but I knew that's how I looked to her. I wanted to run down the steps and tell her quickly, No, I'm not really the soldier you think I am. I was drafted." At the moment the major returned my salute, she angled off the path from him, and with a big bright smile on her face, she climbed up the steps, held out her hand to me, and in a sweet southern accent said, "Hi, I'm Phyllis George from Texas." In her book, Never Say Never, Phyllis describes how she greets all new people, and I can tell you that is exactly how she does it. I took her hand and said, "Hi, I'm Neil from the western part of Connecticut." It was pretty impressive the way I had said that. Some of the girls in our entourage stood at our side while others took our picture. I could hear cameras clicking from the soldiers behind the rope, and it sounded like something else, something like I had never heard before or since. Metallic popcorn. I bet I'm in 1,000 pictures with Miss America, and I don't have a single one of them, but I haven't given up hope. After a short reception, it was time to escort her to the stage. It was about a 200-yard walk between 2 ropes that led straight through a huge crowd of U.S. servicemen. With a smile and as if we were going out for ice cream, she asked me if we were ready to go. "Yes," I said, proving that my sense of duty was overpowering my personal excitement. We both turned and started out. There I was, walking the runway with Miss America. If anything happened to her now, our entire country would want to know who let it happen. As we walked, I was trying to come up with something clever and charming to say, but I heard her going through her bag. She was digging deep right to the bottom and still searching. I didn't know what the heck she was looking for. I glanced at her face, and she wasn't the least bit nervous or apprehensive. She was calm, confident, but still searching. I returned to ice front, and then I heard her say, "There it is." And then the click-click of a ballpoint pen. Of course, Miss America needs a pen wherever she goes. I was a soldier in Vietnam. Miss America was walking at my side. I felt like John Wayne. If we were going to be attacked, let it be now, so I could throw my body on top of hers. The crowd was huge. Bigger than I expected. We were coming up behind the men in the back row, and someone yells out, "There she is, Miss America." I bet there's one of those in every crowd, right, Phyllis? I've never seen so many soldiers do such a perfect about-face. There was applause, cheering, whistling, and some shouting. Walking alongside Phyllis makes you feel like you can defeat the entire North Vietnamese army. And I would have taken on the entire United States Army if any one of them had gotten fresh. We came up to Mrs. Bryant, who told us we were right on time. I turned to Phyllis and said, "I'll meet you right here after the show." My God, I bet she melted inside. And what a wonderful show it was. The Miss America pageant, the USO, and unseen others made it possible for us to forget where we were for a while and to feel support and encouragement from home. Back then it took 7 days for a letter to reach home. My 12 o'clock noon was Mom and Dad's midnight. I was afraid every day I was over there, but that day I was listening to music and watching 7 young, beautiful, brave, and talented women sing and dance their hearts out for us. They were wearing little white outfits, short skirts, white go-go boots, and they all had kneecaps the size of quarters. We loved it, and I think we all acted like gentlemen. I've tried hard to remember anything that any of the girls might remember of that day. We had a Cobra helicopter pilot buzz us in the middle of the show. He pulled up high over us, kicked over the tail, and buzzed us again. One of the other guards, not me, stepped on the extension cord and killed the canned music right in the middle of a song. He plugged it back in, and I'm proud to say our sweetheart on stage just started singing again like nothing ever happened. Karen has told me online she was always sorry that they were whisked away right after the shows and couldn't stay to visit with the troops. I'm almost certain I remember her saying that day. After a 2.5-hour show, I met Phyllis at the side door, and she came up to me and said something that endeared me to her forever. She said, "Did you enjoy the show, Neil?" She remembered my name. I walked her back up the runway, stopping for pictures and autographs along the way. And before she went back inside, she signed my flyer, and we said goodbye. I was too shy to hug her, but I haven't given up hope. I made it home safe and sound and started my very own Miss America contest, and I got to marry the winner. Elizabeth and I have 2 grown sons, and we've been married for 35 years, so yes, everything I've said here has been pre-approved. I want to thank Belinda for many conversations online, for being an old friend and a new friend at the same time. And I want to thank Cheryl and Karen, my forever friend, and the other girls too. I hope to meet all of you again someday. I don't know how many shows you did during that tour, but it couldn't have been all fun all the time. So thank you for doing that for me.